It's time now to check your money with America's money maven, Vicki Brackens. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. Hey, Vicki.
Hey, George, how you doing today?
You know, it's Turkey Week, baby. It's Turkey Week.
Oh my God, George!
It's Turkey Week.
So happy.
So listen, I'm, we do the traditional. Well, I don't know what traditional is anymore, but there will be some mac and cheese, collard greens, and some sweet potatoes. I know that for sure, and a bird. Everything else we'll see, but we're gonna have that for sure.
Okay. Well, listen, I don't know. I feel like Turkey Week just all of a sudden was here. It was like Halloween, and then boom.
Yeah, I said the same thing. In fact, Gloria and I, we bought our turkey, what we thought was early, and it's like it was only last week.
Exactly.
we were like shopping late, and we're like, oh, we should get the turkey now. And we thought that was such a long time ago. The other thing is, she grows greens, and so, I was checking the greens, and I was like, yeah, Thanksgiving's coming, and now, typically, and what we've done in the previous years, Vicki, is it's basically been farm to table. I have gotten the greens like the day before, or even a couple of days before, sometimes the day of, and just go get them and bring them in and get them done. Right? We don't have as much, because we're growing them, we don't have as much of the gristle and grime, but we still got to do the whole cleaning ritual. So that's what we got on tap for this week.
All right. Well, let me tell you what I have on tap. I have good friends.
Yes.
Good friends who take pity on people and say, come on over. Okay. And I'm so happy. Okay.
Yeah, because I know your brother-in-law used to cook, right?
That's right. And I think they must have left instructions for all the friends that they left here. Like, make sure Vicki and Earlene eat on Thanksgiving Day, because we get invitations, and I have no problem saying yes, thank you very much. And I'll say it out loud. Debbie and Ken Schoening this year, because we're gonna make sure we celebrate with their family, and thank you. And so that's what my Thanksgiving is going to be. But you know what, George? One of the things, so that I don't forget, even though it's a week past, I want to say again, congratulations to my sisters and my sorors of Iota Nu Omega Syracuse chapter of the Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated on the celebration of our 50th anniversary last week. I saw you there.
You saw me there.
Got a table full of sorors, because
I was.
You have three members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority in your family that were all there, and but I know if based on your smile that you enjoyed the event as much as I did last week.
I really did enjoy the event. It was a lot of fun. It was great to be with the sisters of AKA and help them to celebrate 50 years of service to the community.
Well, George, this is kind of going to be a conversation this week between you and I, because I think there may be some things you want to interject or to ask questions about, because it's been a really packed news cycle over the last week to 10 days. Starting out with...
Well, I'll tell you what the New York Post said. Are you ready?
Okay, what did they say today? Or say this week? What did they say?
The New York Post said, Florida man makes an announcement.
I saw that, okay? Everybody's talking about Florida man makes an announcement.
Well, yeah.
If you recall, when I was on last, I said, we were talking about the midterm elections.
Oh, my gosh.
and we discussed the historical impact between blue and red as far as what impact it has on the market. And in spite of what the popular belief is, it actually happens to be that blue has a better economic record as far as market returns than red. Then we heard from Florida man, as far as coming back for another run at the presidency. We also looked at, one of the things I looked at, George,
what you look at?
Mind-boggling to me. Do you know what the total cost of this election was as far as the spend? How much money was spent?
I'm gonna say, okay, so are you talking about just
midterm election?
All of the money aggregated.
All of the money that was.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say close to $1 billion.
George, you are so far off.
Oh my, far off.
So far off. $16.7 billion.
What?
$16.7 billion. That is the equivalent of the GDP of Laos and Mali and many other countries. And I'm glad you said wow, because $16.7 billion
on to say that this one was a dirty rat and this one was this and this one
without much discussion about policy, without much discussion about what we're going to do. As you said, everybody talking about this one is a dirty rat or what they haven't done. So I'm going to say from Vicki's mouth, I'm going to be asking a lot more questions on accountability, because and about policy and about what we really are doing when we spend $16.7 billion. In fact, I think I'll put the link on the story for everybody in our chat for this week. But here's the other thing. Here was another headline that I saw, which is sort of dovetails into this. Household debt soars at the fastest pace in 15 years, was just reported by the Federal Reserve, that credit card balances collectively rose more than 15% from the same period in 2021. This is the largest annual jump that we've seen in probably 20 years. So George, what are we doing? And the question is, I know, and I'm going to hear from everyone, well, Vicki, things are going up in price. Yes. And we've got gas prices going up, and we've got heating prices going up for the winter. And we haven't hit winter yet, by the way, when these numbers came out. So my advice to everyone is you need to start looking at how you can make incremental changes in your spending habits and your budgets. Because with this type of increase in debt, when we get to this time next year, there's going to be a lot of people in a world of hurt, because you will be absolutely upside down in all of your budget figures and those things that you're trying to accomplish for retirement, etc.
Because we already know, just in terms of household costs, we already know that National Grid, for example, has forecast a monster increase. I got to keep it real. Right? They already told you heating costs are going to be off the chain this season. And I can't remember. Maybe I'm saying the wrong number, but I thought I heard somewhere around 32%. Did I?
I heard so. It's something. I think it's 22, but
22. But but it ain't 10%.
It's not. Okay, it is not. So it means that since we know this is coming, what steps are we taking to get prepared? There will need to be, in a lot of households, and probably all households, some choices made between, do we really need it or do we just want it?
Yeah.
And if it's a just wanted, it has to get delayed. Things that we really need, because if the pricing is going to go up, because if you're increasing, here's how this spiral works. If your credit card balances are increasing by 15%, and the charge as far as the interest rates that are being charged on those balances that you are carrying is also being increased, the debt ratio is not just at 15%, it may be a 20 or 25% number, because of the fact that the interest rates are going up at the same time. Choices. But here's the one that really got me, George, as far as
wait, that wasn't enough?
That wasn't enough. Have you heard this name? Have you heard these names? Okay. Michael Milken. Do you remember that name?
Keep going. Yes.
Bernie Madoff, right?
Yes.
We added a new one, a very big one this week. Sam Bankman-Fried, co-founder of FTX.
Crypto,
you know what happened?
Something with crypto.
$32 billion gone in 1 month.
Down the drain.
Gone. Okay.
And was
32 billion.
Was he like out of the Bahamas or something like that? Did I read that right?
No, he has a home, a villa down in the Bahamas.
Okay.
But here's the issue. First of all, there's certain terms that we always talk about, and I want to make sure
I mean, this is blockchain, right? I said crypto, but I meant that's.
No, you were right. It's crypto. Okay?
Oh, it's crypto. Okay.
FTX. So liquidity, we're always screaming about, right? Well, here's the thing that happened, and we need to. And by the way, let me stop right here. This is not a talk about emphasizing that you should get involved or invest
or not get involved. This is what happened in this situation for educational purposes
only. Okay, educational purposes only. But anyway, Sam Bankman-Fried, who was, by the way, 30 years old. Think of this. A 30-year-old person who had created a system of what's called arbitrage. Arbitrage basically means that he had figured out a way that between different exchanges, there was a price differential, because sometimes in markets there is inefficiency. So basically he would say, okay, if I bought this at X exchange for 5 cents, I could sell it almost simultaneously for 7 cents on Y exchange. I'm going to make the 2 cents in between. And that happens all the time. That is not illegal. There is nothing nefarious about that. That happens all the time. But if you do it billions and billions of times because you can figure out a way to do it through computerized systems, you can make a lot of money. And he started making money so quickly and so fast and became such a darling in the crypto market space. Nobody was paying attention to some of the other things that he do. No different than what happened, say, in the .com bubble time period. No different than what happened with Milken. Yes.
So what exactly happened then for the $32 billion in losses?
Here's what happened.
Okay.
The crypto market started to collapse. Mm-hmm. He had been borrowing money. He had been leveraging the accounts that were not his, meaning his client's accounts. And calls started coming in. I need my money because the crypto market is going down. I want to pull my money out of the market. And he didn't have it. He didn't have the liquidity to cover because he had been borrowing against those funds, which you're not supposed to do because you can't borrow against client accounts. And it's like, that old game of Jenga, that linchpin got pulled out and the whole thing started to collapse and fall. And he had no way of backing it up, and he had no place to turn. There was one firm that was looking at basically bailing him out, and they said, no, this is too much.
So if you were holding FTE, what happened to your money?
Gone. If you were in FTX, as far as
FTX, I'm sorry. If you were in FTX, so nobody got their money back.
So far. Now the SEC and the Department of Justice and so forth are investigating.
Right, but basically, if you get anything back, it's going to be pennies on the dollar.
Probably. Okay. Yeah. So it's gone. So here's my point. It's the old song from Stevie Wonder. If you believe in things you don't understand, what happens? You suffer.
Yeah.
This is what happens over and over again. Think about the .com bubble. Now, was .com going to eventually become the behemoth that it is? Yes, but in those early days, when everyone was running toward .com just because it said .com and not paying attention to structure and how things are being managed and regulations, things blew up and the entire market almost fell apart around that. Same thing with Milken when we were talking about bonds. We were talking about junk bonds. Same thing here, because what our concern is with the cryptocurrency market now is what is going to be the contagion. How is it going to spread across other crypto markets? So my admonition to everyone is, when you are getting involved, make sure you understand explicitly what's going on, and that there are the right kinds of regulations and backing in order to have the safeguards that you need. And if you don't have those safeguards and you still want to get involved, understand that that money is fully at risk, and if you cannot afford fully at risk, don't get involved at all.
So Vicki, to that, I asked this question: isn't all investments fully at risk?
But you have safeguards about certain things. You do, okay? You are
All right,
always
so
risk,
let me ask it a different way. So, for example, if you buy some, this is educational example. So if you buy some Google stock, you know that that's running through a particular exchange that has particular regulations about how that stock should be. If that stock is purchased, there's certain regulations about how that is done and
how
monitored.
that money is held.
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
And how it's protected. Now, you are not protected against the fact that Google may be a lousy product and not sell.
Right.
And the stock price goes
right. I just picked Google because.
But you are not exposed to an entity that has no regulation around how they hold your money.
Right. So that's what you got to look for.
That is correct.
Or at least that's, again, broad picture. Just how is your money being held is the question.
Okay. So, as I say, to be continued.
Yes.
To be continued. But by the way, that is not the same $1 billion situation that Yeezy was in. That's dumb stuff. That was absolutely.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Okay, Kanye West.
No, what was he in though? I don't know this.
Okay. He lost his $2 billion in a day because he got involved with tit for tat with his sponsors. For his comments concerning.
When they pulled his money.
Totally different thing.
Yeah. They just right because he lost that investment. He
lost all of his endorsements.
Yes.
Okay,
that's what you meant, right? And the impact on that moved him out of the $1 billion status.
Out of the $1 billion status. Those are two different things, but I've heard some individuals try and tie
kind of conflate the two
together.
Yeah.
Yes. No, absolutely not. Okay, George, we'll look for next week's headline. This week was full of headlines.
Full of them. But I was going to say congratulations to, that's for my own segment. Never mind.
Okay. Yes,
I was going to say
we'll pick that up. But as I said,
I was going to say the results of the midterms were better than expected, and I'll say it this way because I'm going to put it in context of the financial realm because the safeguards for the most part, for the majority of the country remained in place.
And that was a good thing. Okay?
That's right. That is exactly right.
That was a lot of relief. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. All right, George. I tell you what. So if you have say this to our viewers and listeners, if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at area code 315-930-4499. You can reach us at info@Brackens, BRACKENS, FSN.com. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe both on YouTube and Facebook. Have a great day. And I'll say our plate is now full.
All right. Vicki Brackens is the president of Brackens Financial Solutions Network, LLC, and a registered representative of LPL Financial, member SIPC. She is America's money maven.